Skincare can be expensive, but not everything needs to break the bank. As a board-certified dermatologist, I'm here to tell you exactly where you should invest and where you can save when it comes to anti-aging skincare. Let's dive in. There are certain ingredients and treatments that are absolutely worth the investment because they have real science-backed results. Here's where you should consider spending a little bit more. First off, retinoids. Retinoids are the gold standard for anti-aging. I like to think of them as liquid gold. There's multiple different versions, different formulations, and there is a difference between retinoids, which is the active form of retinoic acid, and retinol, which is not the active form, but it's available over the counter. Retinoids and retinols are so important for your skin. They help with cell turnover, reduce the look of fine lines and wrinkles, and also promote collagen production. If you struggle from pigmentary changes and tone issues on the skin, they can also help to even out skin tone. Retinoids are something that I truly believe everyone should be using. Now, there are so many different formulations, as I mentioned, so if you can't tolerate the prescription form, then I encourage you to find an over-the-counter form that works for your skin type. Typically, when talking to patients, I recommend that they start on a prescription retinoid. Now, while these aren't going to be very expensive, and insurance might cover them actually, they are worth spending that little bit extra on a prescription just so you can reap the benefits of what a retinoid can do for your skin. Prescription versions like tretinoin are more potent and more active, so you're going to see better results than the over-the-counter products. Typically, when starting a new retinoid, it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for your skin to fully become retinized, and that can be kind of a grueling process. Oftentimes, you might see that your skin gets worse before it gets better. This we call the retinoid purge. You can also get some flaking, peeling, and a little bit of irritation during that retinization period, but take it from me, it is fully worth it once your skin has that retinoid glow. Now, there are a ton of over-the-counter retinol options, and I do have some suggestions for where to start in both the over-the-counter and medical grade formulations. Over-the-counter, there's a wonderful retinol by Aven called Retronal. Now, this formulation is going to be closest to the active form of retinoid that you can get over-the-counter. There are 2 different strengths, so if you have very sensitive skin, I would advise starting at the lower percentage and then increasing based on how your skin tolerates it. There are a lot of over-the-counter retinol creams that you can try, but 2 of my favorites are the Neutrogena Retinol Regenerating Cream and the Retinol Youth Renewal Night Cream by Murad. Now, in the medical grade category, there are 2 brands that I think make really nice retinols. The first is Elastin, and they just make an over-the-counter retinol. When buying medical grade products, it's important not to buy them off of Amazon, but rather buy them from a reliable website like Dermstore or Shop My Shelf, or directly from the doctor's office itself. If you're interested in looking into the Elastin products, my Elastin link is below. There's also a wonderful retinol product over the counter called Alpharet by Skin Better Science. And lastly, SkinCeuticals makes a wonderful over-the-counter retinol product if you're looking to start somewhere but haven't had a chance to see a board-certified dermatologist for that prescription retinoid. Now, the next category of products that you should absolutely think about splurging on are vitamin C serums. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant that protects against environmental damage, stressors, pollution, and UV radiation. All of these things can contribute to accelerated aging on the skin, including brown spots, red spots, sun damage, and the increase of fine lines and wrinkles. So it's super important to have an antioxidant-rich serum in your skincare routine. Now, these can be highly unstable if they're packaged incorrectly or if they're poorly formulated. As a start, you can look for formulations with plain vitamin C like L-ascorbic acid. One great product with L-ascorbic acid is from SkinCeuticals. It's called CE Ferulic, and while it might be on the pricier side, it is totally worth it. With this little bottle, you can get about 3 months of use. You'll put a drop on each side of the face, gently rub it in, and use it only in the morning as the first step after washing. Another wonderful vitamin C product that I personally recommend is by Elastin. It's called the C Radical Defense. Clinical studies looking at the effects of C Radical Defense in patients who used it for up to 12 weeks revealed a decrease in pigmentation on the skin, in redness, and also an increase in elastin in the skin, which is a protein that contributes to the elasticity of the skin. So the CE Ferulic Elastin and Skin Better Science all make wonderful vitamin C serums, and these are considered medical grade. While we rely on vitamin C's to promote collagen production, we could also benefit from the addition of stimulating elastin elastin production as well, which is called the process of elastogenesis. Now, there are some quality over-the-counter vitamin C serums as well, like Vichy's Lift Active Vitamin C Serum, which is available over-the-counter and formulated with L-ascorbic acid. Now, if you have very sensitive skin and want to start somewhere simple with integrating a vitamin C serum into your routine, I encourage you to check out the Vitamin C Serum with Ceramides by Vanicream. La Roche-Posay and CeraVe are also wonderful brands that formulate a vitamin C serum. In the medical grade category, Skin Better Science has a wonderful vitamin C serum. Now, this is going to be a little pricier, but totally worth it, and it's called the Alto Defense Serum. The last product that is an absolute must to splurge on will actually surprise you. It's sunscreen. Sunscreen is the #1 anti-aging product. It prevents 90% of visible aging caused by UV exposure, which we get every day. Make sure you look for a broad spectrum sunscreen that covers both UVA and UVB rays that's SPF 30 or higher. If you have sensitive skin, I recommend sticking to sunscreens with mineral-based ingredients like zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. If you don't struggle with skin sensitivities but just want to find a sunscreen that's right for you, you can look for a chemical-based sunscreen that has chemical filters that work just as well and can be safe in all skin types. So if you're struggling to find a sunscreen that blends evenly into the skin, I suggest starting with a chemical-based sunscreen and then looking to find a mineral-based one if you're going on vacation or if you're now getting used to the routine of putting on sunscreen. Using mineral sunscreens can be a little more effective on the skin. Now, if you struggle with pigmentation on the skin or if you tend to get really tan and then look a little splotchy and pigmented after the summer, then you should absolutely look for a sunscreen that is tinted and mineral-based. So this is going to be something that has zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, which have a wonderful ingredient called iron oxides in them. And what iron oxides do is they block visible light. Visible light is light we get from all light sources, not necessarily just those UV rays. So if you struggle with conditions like melasma or hyperpigmentation, you are definitely going to want to find a daily use sunscreen with iron oxides in them. Some of my favorite sunscreens are by Ulta MD. So they have 3 shades. They have a clear, a medium tint, and a deep tint. And the tinted ones have that iron oxide ingredient. They have a really elegant formulation that sort of blends right into any skin tones. So I'd highly recommend that you try that version. Also, one of my favorites and a sunscreen that I use daily is called Elastin Hydratint. Now this has titanium dioxide and iron oxides in them, and I use it almost like a daily facial moisturizer that has a little bit of coverage, so you really don't need to use foundation or anything much after that, which the less steps in your skincare routine, especially in the morning, the better. La Roche-Posay also has some wonderful sunscreens, both mineral and chemical options, as well as Neutrogena and CeraVe. If you tend to run a little bit oily, there is a wonderful brand called Tizo that makes a sunscreen that has a matte type effect. So it's a cream that almost kind of turns into a powder when you put it on the skin. I love this sunscreen, especially if you're going to be out and maybe sweating or having to film. Tizo is a great option. Again, tinted mineral-based sunscreen. If you want to learn more about sunscreens, make sure you check out my video that's dedicated entirely to sunscreen use and different types of sunscreens. And I also have another video where I go over a ton of different tinted mineral sunscreens, so make sure to check that out as well. Now let's pivot to another area of anti-aging that you should absolutely think about splurging on, or at least saving for, so that you can maintain your overall skin health through the years. Now these would be in-office treatments. In-office treatments work best when paired with a solid at-home skincare routine. So all the things we just discussed are going to make our in-office treatments and areas where we spend a little more money last that much longer. I love the word skin investment, and that's exactly what it is. So think about all of these things as an investment in your skin so that you can enjoy the long-lasting results when they're all combined together. I'm going to quickly go over 4 different options that we offer regularly in office and that should be available to you at your local board-certified dermatologist office as well. First off, chemical peels. Chemical peels are a really nice low-cost way to start some sort of in-office skincare procedure. Now there's different formulations that help with oiliness, acne, pigmentation, hydration, or just overall skin rejuvenation. And these typically are low cost, as I mentioned, with minimal minimal to no downtime. Chemical peels, once initiated, should be done regularly to get the best benefit. So I recommend my patients come in at least once a month for a series of maybe 4 to 6 treatments so they can really see these results. And of course, continuing with their at-home skincare routine that we've discussed while combining them with the peels in the office. Another great in-office procedure is called microneedling. With microneedling, we're using a handheld device to make tiny little micro injuries on the skin, which stimulates a wound healing response. So if we are treating acne scars or enlarged pores or just fine lines and wrinkles, your body's gonna see those micro injuries on the skin and send all its little growth factors and platelets and fibroblasts to heal that wound while also stimulating collagen production. And so while it sounds a little grotesque maybe or a little difficult to understand, the results are really quite special. It's a low downtime procedure. There is a little bit of redness and flaking on the skin after, but it's really great for all skin types and also a great sort of introductory treatment into in-office procedures. And another great place to start if you've never had any in-office procedures, microneedling might be the way to go. Now, there are also a whole host of laser treatments available to target different skin issues. So if you're somebody who runs red or has rosacea, there are lasers to help with reducing redness. If you have a lot of scarring or textural issues, there are non-ablative and fractionated lasers to treat that. And there are also lasers for dyspigmentation, brown spots, fine lines, wrinkles, everything under the sun. And these lasers can be paired nicely with your at-home skincare regimen. If you want to learn more about lasers or what we do in the office as board-certified cosmetic dermatologists, make sure you check out this video where we walk through a typical day in my office doing all sorts of cosmetic treatments from lasers to injectables to chemical peels and microneedling. Lastly, it's worthwhile thinking about splurging a little bit on neuromodulators like Botox and dermal fillers. Now, while injectables might have a bad reputation, when administered by a skilled provider, we can really deliver natural results. Neuromodulators like Botox are meant to soften the expression lines that are created when you're making expressions, so smiling, raising your brows, or frowning. They're especially helpful in patients who are noticing fine lines becoming etched into the skin. And once these lines become etched, it's really hard to get rid of them, and it can be really expensive. So the idea with neuromodulators is to soften that movement so that those lines don't become as deeply etched in the skin, and you can really maintain a smooth forehead or smooth frown area when these treatments are started early. Dermal fillers, on the other hand, are meant to replace volume in areas that we lose volume naturally as we age. And so when placed properly, they can revolumize the skin in areas that you already had it. So it doesn't have to be a new look or change the shape of your face. It's really meant to help you maintain your facial structure over time. So if you've lost weight or if you've lost collagen or elasticity, dermal fillers can really help to reverse that process. Now, I've given a lot of examples on skincare products and suggested areas where it might be worthwhile to splurge a little, but not every skincare product has to be expensive. In fact, some drugstore options are just as good, if not better, than luxury brands. Here's where you can save. First things first, cleansers. Cleansing is so important, but you don't need a $50 face wash. Look for gentle, sulfate-free or soap-free cleansers like CeraVe's Hydrating Cleanser or Neutrogena's Ultra Hydrating Creamy or Foaming Cleanser. If you have more oily skin, you're gonna wanna look for a foaming cleanser, whereas if you have dry skin, you wanna look for a hydrating or creamy cleanser. And these can all be purchased over the counter. You don't have to break the bank. Next up, moisturizers. Hydration is key, but fancy brands aren't necessarily better. As long as you're getting the right ingredients on your skin to provide that extra hydration, you can stick to drugstore products that have key ingredients like glycerin, hyaluronic acid, and ceramides. These formulations should work just as well as the expensive products. Next, exfoliants. Exfoliants like AHAs and BHAs do not have to be expensive. Glycolic and lactic acid exfoliants from Paula's Choice or Prequel or The Ordinary are just as good as luxury brands. With exfoliants, it's really the ingredient that's key. So if you're looking for an exfoliant to help reduce oil production and control acne, you're going to want to look for that active ingredient of salicylic acid. If you're looking for exfoliants to help brighten, help reduce the appearance of brown spots, you're going to want to look for glycolic and lactic acid. There are so many different options for exfoliants in the over-the-counter realm. Don't break the bank on these. And lastly, face masks. Face masks are so fun, but they're not essential for anti-aging. The clay face masks are great to reduce the appearance of pores. Hydrating face masks can really provide that extra boost of hydration to the skin. There are exfoliating face masks. All of these options are great and should be used occasionally, but you really don't have to spend a ton of money on face masks. Save your money for products that will actually work long-term, like the ones we discussed, sunscreens, retinoids, and vitamin C, and also your in-office procedures. All in all, smart skincare is about ingredients, not price tags. Tell me in the comments, what's your biggest skincare splurge or best budget find? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more dermatologist-approved skincare tips. Thanks for watching.